Jai. Hi there. What's your story?
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Shireen. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Shireen. I will watch your back, if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Jai smiles broadly, showing her pearly teeth. Then the woman laughs melodically. Was there some business you wish to discuss? I think we can go through all of these, so we'll just start at the top. Was there some business you wish to discuss?
Oh, Shireen, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for your ears alone.
Jai's face lights up with an enchanting smile. The flickering light of dozens of candles plays across Jai's face, making her small smile appear even more mysterious. Shireen, the Exalted One himself brought us together. That blessed day you crossed Vladim's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. Do you know what people on my world say when such a thing happens? What's gained is to be shared with your neighbor. She points at the containers in front of her. One contains a polished Eldari rifle, a rare model, and the other holds an ornate sword. I'm sharing with what I've gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck, friendship. So we've got an Eldari rifle, which is definitely Xeno artifacts and therefore not cool. Dodge reduction, additional hit chance, long range. Doesn't have a normal shot, just a deadeye shot. Yeah, this rifle can only perform deadeye shot attacks. Whenever the wielder scores a critical hit with a single shot attack, they gain an additional attack this turn. Whoa. And then Bloodseeker Clave, which is a Drukhari weapon. Clave's area attack has an increased area of effect. Most warriors prefer swords, blah blah blah. Both are really powerful weapons. Truly wonderful gift, I accept with gratitude. Yet more Xeno heresy. You have some nerve trying to peddle this filth to a true servant of the Emperor. We're not here to exchange pleasantries. What is it you wanted to discuss? You consider these gifts. My lowliest enforcers are equipped with deadlier weapons than this. They are definitely not. These are very deadly weapons. Or just shrug. Oh, how insulting do I want to be? I don't think I'm going to go with wonderful gift. But I also don't think I'm going to go all the way to Xeno heresy. Because as a rogue trader, Xenotech will go through my hands. And it's better to be in my hands and then passed off safely than out in the wild. Oh. But unfortunately, the rest of these... So either we have a extremely positive answer, or an extremely negative answer, or we're just like, don't care, moving on. Which is kind of all of these. I was hoping for a slightly more neutral, like, thanks? I'm gonna have trouble with her. I can already tell. Trying to play the dogmatic route, but also as an RPG player, not wanting to offend or upset my companions, we're gonna run into a lot of trouble with her. So I'm going to bend from my usual perspective to try and be nice to her for now, until we get to know her better. And if she's just always going to be a problem, we'll see how things go. But sure, it's a nice gift, and I accept it with gratitude. Don't want to go all the way to wonderful, but it's a nice gift. Thanks. I knew you would appreciate the xenos' mastery of their craft. Jai beams at you, curling a lock of black hair around an augmented finger. Sure. After a brief pause, she awkwardly continues. So, the matter I wanted to discuss with you is related to my business. You know that I sell xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects, and Imperial trinkets to xenos. Business is going well, my network runs even without my participation. But when it comes to expansion, well, that's where I hit a wall. Rivals envious of my success. Jai throws up her hands. Falco especially. I am certain the theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict what that Ashmag will do next. And when the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in the Expanse, it could crack down on people of my profession at any moment. Go on, I think I follow. You wish to use me. If you were slightly less useful to me, I would have brought you to justice myself. Get to the point, I do not have time to spend all day chatting with you. I think I follow. You wish to use me. Rather than just go on. It's like, no, you're trying to make use of the fact that I'm a rogue trader and so I can legitimize your business and protect you. Effectively. Exalted One, forfend. Could such a lowly servant of the Emperor use the radiant bearer of the warrant like some kind of tool? The other way around, however. If the rogue trader put in a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmag schemers. Far better than any refractor field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, because I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. Except will the Adeptus Administratum grant you, a legal right to trade when your primary trade is xeno heresy? I'm assuming the answer is no. Like, the moment it becomes known that you're not trading normal, Imperial goods, but you're actually training xeno artifacts, I think any sort of official trade representative, etc., that you have signed goes away. And the best part of all of this is that this will cost you precisely nothing, Shireen. All you have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. My informants tell me that the palace is located on Dargonus, your capital world. You see how everything has aligned so wonderfully? And of course, I will repay you in kind. How do I benefit from you gaining official status? It sounds simple enough. I will help you. I would never allow your ilk to lay so much as a finger on true power. You are an ulcer on the body of the Imperium. Thank your Exalted One that I have not yet incinerated you with righteous flame. Do you really think I care one jot about the travails of Casabalican scum? Or I shall take into consideration. How do I benefit from your gaining official status? Besides being in receipt of my eternal gratitude, Shireen, Jai playfully raises a brow. Won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority behind them, rather than just another pawn? One slip of paper and I will be able to extend my network to systems far beyond footfall. My agents will be your eyes and ears to the Expanse. I mean, that's useful. If her agents are effectively a spy network I can call upon, that has real value. Sure. Sounds simple enough. I'll help you. Exalted One, bless you, Shireen. I couldn't find a better business partner in all of the Expanse. Jai pauses for a moment and then graces you with a dazzling smile. Friendship is a gift from the Exalted One, and we must cherish it. And you will have no complaint about our friendship, Shireen. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I can still help you with whatever you need. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish relations with. The Severe Drusians, the hothead pirates of the Casabalica. You merely need to use the right words, like a key for a lock, and people will open their hearts to you, or their wallets. I will arrange everything. You merely have to ask. So she can give us 2,000 reputation with any of the factions. Well, Casabalica, Drusians, or the Adeptus Mechanicus. Oh, or the pirates. Okay. I don't know. I'm assuming we can change this later. And so at the moment, the Drusians were the ones that seemed the hardest to raise up. Like when we talked to Hieronymus, to get to the next rank, he needed like 6,000. And it's like, if I sold everything in my cargo, it still wouldn't have got me there. So, 2,000 to him seems valuable. Not a problem, Shireen. I will have my people put in a good word for you in the right circles. I will humbly wait for you to steer your vessel toward Dragonis. The Mercatum Tabulae Official. It sounds almost as majestic as the Warrant of Trade. Sure. Guessing there's nothing else of note up here. Just seeing if anything stands out as being new or interactable. I think last time we forgot to actually look over in this direction. Sure. We can go take a bath. It's been a while. Just having all these servants around. This is wealth. The soothing water caresses your senses, and your grateful muscles welcome the chance to rest. A pleasant languor spreads through your body as you allow yourself a moment of quiet relaxation. Address the Master of Evolutions. I wish to see someone from my retinue. Just call up Cassia to our room as we're taking a bath. That'd be a little awkward. No, we'll just relax and close our eyes. Tension slowly retreats, and you bring yourself to complete stillness, joint by joint, muscle by muscle, pore by pore. Before long, you have surrendered the bastion of your body to the bliss of oblivion. Troubles, worries, loss, such things do not belong in the newly established dominion of tranquility. There are only the infinite waters of weightlessness, in which, stripped of all things superficial, the mind of Ignatius von Valentius drifts in silent bliss. It is a conscious mind. What fills this consciousness? Dogmatic thoughts of the monumental duty to the Emperor. Such duty can only be fulfilled through service and death, for such is the price of humanity's victory in the everlasting war. Iconoclast thoughts on those who keep him afloat in these surface waters. Who will drown? Who will he manage to pull to the surface? Heretical thoughts about the price paid for power, the inconstant paths through which such power is obtained, and the people and things he will sacrifice for the sake of his supremacy. Or only a desperate desire to lose himself in these precious moments of peace and quiet before they are gone. No, we will have our thoughts of his monumental duty to the Emperor. The sacrifice of many paves the way to a triumphant future for the Titan that is the protector of the Imperium. It is a heavy burden to be ground beneath his feet, but it is glorious to serve such a righteous purpose in unity. This moment of serenity soon fades. The body reclaims the mind, binding it once more to the familiar shell of flesh, sinew, and bone. I guess we will leave. You feel revitalized. This was truly an experience worthy of a rogue trader. Well, neat. Beyond the glass, the distant stars glimmer in the darkness, the endless space filling you with an odd sense of dread. Oh, what do we have here? Cracked data slate. Have we looked at this before? I assume not, because we didn't pick it up. Final transactions of the chartist are complete. The fiery reckoning is now fully equipped. The object has been loaded aboard with its containment intact and placed in the forebay to ensure maximum contact with the target. Coordinates sent and received by a bridge. Target estimate, time of arrival in system. Fire reckoning is crewed by a servitor. Chance of the ship returning minimal. Estimated time. A whole lot of binary strings. Let's grab that. We need to keep an eye out for well-deserved rest. Higher initiative in the next combat. Fiery Reckoning is a ship name, apparently. Von Valencia's ancestry records. Yeah. I don't think there's anything here of interest that I should be interacting with. But it's good to have gone here and checked. Let's go back and talk to Jai again. Because we didn't finish that conversation.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored without our little talk, Shireen?
Jai flashes you a welcoming smile, rolling a coin across the knuckles of her augmented fingers. You don't look like a typical smuggler.
No truer words have ever been said. I'm far more exciting than some small-time peddlers from Footfall. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Jai Amira Fatqin Tamiri Ash Ifrit, the 12th daughter of the Lord of Ifrit, a distant world at the fringes of the Imperium.
Jai performs a graceful and somewhat exotic curtsy.
The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches over hundreds of other worlds amidst distant stars, I understood there was an entire world of opportunities beyond Ifrit. All I had to do was break the familial bonds tying me down and escape the planet. Which I did a long time ago.
So she was destined to just be a bargaining chip in her family who were just minor players on Ifrit. Somewhat minor players, maybe. No, 12th daughter of the Lord of Ifrit. So, if he's the Lord of Ifrit, does that mean he's the planetary governor? So, she's the 12th daughter of a powerful person of a fringe world. But potentially can get a lot more accomplished by traveling the stars herself to do whatever she wants. Why did you choose to come to the Koronus Expanse?
The Koronus Expanse. A gorgeous name, isn't it? But this backwater wasn't my original destination when I escaped, Shireen. Oh no, it was the rumors of incredible freedom that brought me to the Koronus Expanse. Freedom that is generously bestowed upon everyone who can survive in these parts. All doors are open here. You can become a saint, a mogul, a kingmaker, or anyone you like, really. Here, hard work pays off, unless you're used to lying by the roadside and complaining instead of toiling for the good of your soul, glory, wallet, or whatever floats your boat. I'm used to working hard, and so I found my blessing.
Jai closed her eyes for a moment in an exaggerated show of pleasure. How did you escape from Ifrit?
I convinced my father I personally wished to oversee the inspection of imported goods. I had to get experience so I wouldn't bring shame on our family, didn't I? I made friends with traders, missionaries, and soldiers at the port. I listened to their stories, studied the charts, learned what documents I had to forge to escape the planet. A kind word here, a shiny coin there. And here I am, in the iron belly of a ship, braving the void in search of a new life.
So did she tell her family that she was leaving, or did she just one day disappear? Don't know. Judging by your implants, you've had quite a few close shaves over the years.
Consider it a mark of my trade. This year, xenos. Dumb-headed orcs. Who knew that we weren't the only ones to get tempted by the wreck of that raider? As for this treasure, I received it as a reward for a life that had been just a little too good. I was in a hurry to get to the Adeptus Amassacus after the Exalted One blessed me with immense wealth. I was 2 backstreets away from the den when a pathetic ashmag attacked me, envious of somebody else's fortune.
Jai's mechanical hand balls into a fist, and then Jai touches her precious neck implant. Finally, she drags her thumb across her throat.
I learned my lesson and started taking the longer way around. Except I haven't had any big windfalls since.
Thank you for sharing this.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
We could ask about her background again, but you just heard it. I have seen enough of this shiny wrapping of the Koronus Expanse. Tell me about its dark side.
The dark side is the real Koronus Expanse, if you ask me. But what do you want to know about it, Shireen?
How do they do things on Footfall?
Dynasties drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Kasbalika, and dozens of ships stop off for a welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? The Emperor is merciful to the meek and the powerful alike. There's a job for everyone as long as they have a head on their shoulders. And if you feel like talking to him in person, the statue of the Exalted One can be seen from any asteroid. You can pray to your heart's content.
Tell me about the Casablanca mission.
An ancient crime cartel that originated with the first settlers of the Calixis sector. It is run by shadowy clans with robber barons at the helm. Cross their path, and you risk making enemies all over the Koronus Expanse, or even the entire Imperium. As for the agents, they are just shameless, greedy scum. Every third person on Footfall is a Kasbalican. But that doesn't mean all that rotten filth is acting together. I've been set up more than once just so some Kasbalican can get one over on his rivals. And yet, the Kasbalika is generous to its customers, if you can afford it. Anything can be obtained, organized, and transported for the right price. The customer is always right, unless they happen to be a rat. In which case...
Jai sighs and throws up her hands. Persuasion test succeeded. Hey, and that was based on our persuasion, which meant we only had a 55% chance. Scum, rotten filth, rats. It is almost as if Jai's mask briefly slipped and she started using words that have no place in the vocabulary of someone from the upper strata of the Imperium. Huh. Just this statement, it makes me wonder if she's actually not who she claims to be. The idea that she would be lying to us about her past would not be terribly surprising. But right now claiming, oh yeah, I'm the 12th child of some noble from faraway lands, could entirely be a lie. And she could just be a street rat, more or less, using the Aladdin storyline of some street rat who worked their way into pretending to be a prince. Or in her case, you know, this noble trader who's from, you know, nobles far away. Maybe she's not. Because it'd be easy to lie as long as she got the money to buy her implants and, you know, clothing and everything else that makes her seem noble, and then learn to fit the part. She could have just been telling this same lie for long enough that people just assume it's true. I don't know. Could obviously be telling the truth, but this makes me think that maybe it's a lie. Are you one of the Castabalca's robber barons?
What gave you such an outrageous idea? Was it my immaculate garment? My gorgeous jewelry? Do not worry, Shireen. I will let you know once I become a baroness, should the Exalted One will it. Just imagine the strong and fruitful alliance that could be forged between a rogue trader and the mastermind of the Kasbalika.
So she does work for the Kasbalika, but has not yet become a Kasbalika robber baron. How did you become a Kasbalican agent?
It's not hard to do on Footfall. I spent a year working for good old Christo. He was a brave soldier who gave up the ghost in a scuffle with orcs, and then took over his business. Having a good head on your shoulders and keeping the Exalted One in your heart helps to establish new contacts quickly. Eventually, I gathered together a group of honest and loyal people, and it only took a few successful contracts for the Kasbalika to take notice. I quickly settled on Footfall and started dispensing my wisdom to my protégés and subordinates. I lost the taste for getting my hands dirty.
Tell me about the cold trade.
It really is simple, Shireen. The Kasbalika runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, I am talking about xeno artifacts too. alien weapons, technology, sometimes even certain kinds of living creatures.
So they even sell xenos themselves.
Unlike the rogue traders whose sacred warrants make them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Kasbalican agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. Nobody wants to draw unwanted attention, no matter who might take an interest. Especially now that the Koronus Expanse has a warrior of the Golden Throne as its watchman.
A warrior of the Golden Throne is its watchman. I'm assuming Warrior of the Golden Throne is talking about the Space Marines we heard about. I guess I'm not sure what she's talking about with the Watchman of the Koronus Expanse. Inquisition is what I would have thought, but do we know that the Inquisitor is a warrior? Or is he more, I guess, top-level overseeing? I guess we don't know.
Why not? The decision is yours, Sherry.
Tell me more about your business in the Koronus Expanse. Wow, there is so much to talk to her about.
My trade means knowing the right people and non-people. Having the right connections and making sure the precious goods find their way into the hands of my no less precious customers. My wisdom includes the knowledge of the enemies of humankind, be they xenos or the lowest scum in the Imperium, as well as the latest knowledge about how much they charge for any particular curio at the footfall market. Not even the most cunning Aji will deceive you as long as I am with you, Shireen. I promise you that. Whatever I have can be yours too, if your unfathomable wealth isn't enough for you already, I mean.
Huh. Do you do businesses with the enemies of humanity?
It has been known to happen. After years of dealing with xenos, I've learned their customs, and even got a grasp of their language. Except they cringe whenever I start speaking. Arrogant sods. They dislike even our voices, but they never turn away our valuables. Then again, I'm used to seeing sour faces. In this trade, the easily offended go out of business.
I mean, given that you have an accent when speaking, like a pretty strong accent when speaking basic, common, whatever, English. I think it's Low Gothic is actually what it's called. I don't know. I'm guessing when you speak a Xenos language, that accent probably comes through quite strongly as well. Perhaps your knowledge will serve the Von Valencia's protectorate. Say what you want, but consorting with Xenos is a betrayal of the Imperium. Things we do for profit and gain, right? I think I'm just going to go with your knowledge will serve the Von Valencia's protectorate. I'm tolerating her Xenos trade. Because again, she told us ages ago, well, when we met her before, that she specifically doesn't cross the line of doing trades that would hurt humanity. So we're going to tolerate it. Perhaps your knowledge will serve the Valencia's protectorate.
I have no doubt you will have to deal with xenos sooner or later. When that time comes, Shireen, you will thank the Exalted One for sending me to stand at your side.
Jai nods thoughtfully, and there's the idea. It wouldn't surprise me at some point if we will have to deal with Xenos, not just as combatants, but in some sort of way where, you know, enemy of my enemy is my friend. Having her on our side, if we end up working with Xenos rather than against them, will be useful. You have many talents? Are you really that rich? Sounds like we can go through most of these. So you have many talents.
Thank you, Shireen. Being able to read and write is chief among them. You may not be aware, but this science is beyond the abilities of billions of the Imperium subjects. And yet they happily keep drudging along in their factories, fundi, and assembly lines. Me? I didn't escape Ifrit to consign myself to such misery. It was literacy that paved my path to copied orders, forged signatures, counterfeited papers. The wonderful things that make the wheels of bureaucracy turn in the right direction.
Are you really that rich? I mean, compared to a rogue trader, no, but compared to the average person, maybe.
Compared to the rabble on footfall, perhaps. Compared to you. Be it power or money, I still have a long way to go. I could purchase one of Footfall's asteroids, but not a planet. I could subjugate a few gangs from the shady districts, but not Vladium. And so the answer to your question is no. I do not consider myself rich. I am not rich enough.
No one thinks they're rich enough. Everyone wants more. Jai raises an eyebrow. You could be sitting back reaping the fruits of your own work, so why have you chosen to embrace the vicissitudes of life aboard a void ship?
You're fun to talk. I grew tired of scribing endless contracts and agreements neatly tucked away on Footfall. Well, I did that for how many years? But here, among the stars, you are always balanced on a knife edge. Nothing thrills me more than the tension of a warp jump, or the danger that lurks around every corner on a planet. Footfall was beginning to make me fat and stupid, Shireen. I do not want that.
Jai raises an eyebrow. Awareness test succeeded. 85%, so we had a decent shot at that, so glad we succeeded. Jai speaks measuredly, with just the right amount of laziness in her voice, but her performance cannot conceal the slight tremble in her voice. Whatever Jai is afraid of, that is what drove her off Footfall. So it's not excitement she's running towards, it's something that she's afraid of that she's running from. What about your gang that stayed back on Footfall? Do you trust them?
Do I trust the Trickster twins? By the Exalted One, no. The underhanded rogues of Footfall came up with that name for a reason. The tricks of those frenzied ashmags are all about things far more intriguing than the honest and law-abiding subjects of the Imperium can imagine.
The mention of her fellow cold traders makes Jai's eyes shine a bit brighter than usual. Okay, so she doesn't actually think of them negatively. She still has positive opinions of them.
On the other hand, this is why I am keeping them close. Kor and Tora know who lifted them out of the cesspit proudly called the Shadow Quarters, and who has been feeding that ravenous beast their insatiable lust for lucre. No, they are not going to betray me if only because they know I am now a part of your entourage, Shireen. They're not going to let the biggest pie in the Imperium pass them by without trying to get a slice for themselves.
That's fair. Tell me about the xenos of the Koronus Expanse.
Vicious, cruel, dangerous beasts. Humans hold little interest for xenos. We are entertainment for them, a means to keep boredom at bay. A commodity. But some of them contact us once in a while using their own people. Do not deceive yourself by thinking you are safe because there are no xenos inside. Those Agi are as cunning as they are ruthless. They cleverly pull at the strings of spies and traitors, subjugate those who do not fall for the promised reward, transform the ones who resist their promises into soulless puppets. The Emperor watches over me, and that is why I still haven't succumbed to the fate of many of my associates who have lost their lives to the stringy scoundrels.
All right, let's talk about something else.
I think we've said all there is to say on this topic.
Yes. You're telling me tales about your colorful past, Jai, but I feel not all of these stories are true. That's what I'm saying. But I'm wondering, should I wait until I find out more about her before I call her out? Or do I just call her out now for fear that if I ask more questions, that option will go away? I think we're going to call her out now. Like, you're telling me tales of your colorful past, but I feel not all of these stories are true.
Listen, Shireen, the giver of happiness and the dearest of my friends. I am who I am. A cold trader, a Casbalican agent, and your partner. We each have a past, and that past is sealed. I'm not prying into your soul, am I? Well, have pity on mine. It has already been gnawed at by the Agi. And if you don't like the sound of that, we'll just go our separate ways. Deal?
Jai stops smiling and rubs the bridge of her nose wearily. Yeah. She's not denying that some of the things she's told us are not 100% true. But she just wants us to not pry into it.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
Yeah, but mutual trust is easier when the person isn't obviously lying to you. Did you know Theodora von Valentius, my predecessor?
It is difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too great. Theodora was a mighty ruler, the center of her own universe, and I, a pathetic speck, was nothing next to her. But you were kind to me, Shireen, and in my eyes, that puts you above your esteemed aunt, or whoever she was to you.
We don't actually know what the relationship there is. We were very extremely distant, it seemed. Such that we didn't even know we were related until they found us wherever we were and pulled us onto this ship. You must forgive my prying, but has the esteemed princess's heart been claimed by some lucky fellow? We're not going to ask that. Her ideals are so different from ours that a romance there is not going to turn out well. You keep using words I don't understand, like calling me Shireen.
The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Koronus Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word, allowing our wise men to fully express their sagacious thoughts, and us lowly dabblers, our base passions and desires.
Jai starts to twist a strand of her raven black hair around a finger.
Take Aji, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Aji means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration. Or take Ashmag. It means fool and little brother and blind man who stumbled and would fall into a pit without guidance. Shireen means friend and comrade and roommate in a battle formation, like we are.
Get off my ship. No, I'll see you later.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
Jai laughs and bids you a farewell with a wink. Yeah, whenever we get new crew, there is always a ton dialogue to go through. It's good dialogue, but it does take time. Adira, anything new from you? No.
Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.
Of course. And then, Cabela.
Domin.
Can you stop spraying your blood everywhere? Come on. Cabela puts the dagger she has been using to reopen her freshly closed wounds. Yeah.
May the Undying One shroud your footsteps from the faithless.
And on this side, is there anyone? I don't think there was. No. Pascal, do you have anything you want to talk about?
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
I must take my leave.
May your labors be effective and fruitful.
Do we want to check out anywhere else while we're here? We've already been to the Lord Captain's quarters. We could go to the freight line at some point for Cabela's quest. Since we've already started on other party members' quest lines, at some point we need to consider doing hers. I don't know when that would be. Something to keep in mind. Sure, let's check out these other locations. We haven't been to either of them in a while. So let's go to the Voidship Shrine. Take the usual suspects, it's fine. There might not be anything new to see at these locations, but I'm going to at least have a look around. Nothing new there.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Professor? The Emperor protects your lordship. What brings you to this holy abode? Nothing. I must take my leave. I just wish to pray at the statue. Since I'm here, I might as well. Then we had this guy over here with his artifact that we never figured out how to open. The broad-shouldered young priest makes the sign of the equivalent. The Emperor protects your lordship. How may I be of service? I wish to try opening the orb one more time. Form the question in the orb's first quarter. My light reaches everywhere. The greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, but only the righteous will see me within their souls. I mean, the Emperor seems the obvious choice. Could go with the throne. But the throne is always just talking about the Emperor. For better or for worse, something clicks inside the orb. By the second quarter, I'm within every human, and my loss is feared, for without me comes the end, but give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. It's blood, which we've tried before. I'm within every human, and my loss is feared, for without me comes the end. Yeah, definitely seems like blood. I am poison, I am perdition, I am disgrace. Burn me down, eradicate me, or perish, rejected by the Emperor. We tried weakness before, and obviously that didn't work. None of the others feel as good as weakness. Because it could go transgression or betrayal. No, we're just putting in the same answers we've tried before. In your body, mind, and soul, you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I bring you closer to him. If I recall the pages of Life of Nadine Aleynikov correctly, this part speaks of purity. The saint saw it as the quintessence of all other virtues. The hoop shift returned to the previous arrangement. You will have to start over. Yeah. You were thinking heretic. I mean, we can try it. Emperor. Blood. Heretic. And purity. Loop shift and return to the previous arrangement. You'll have to start over. Okay. I don't know. But different party members will, I guess, give us answers. We knew the blood one. Cassian knew purity. So maybe at some point we will figure out the remaining answers.
Follow my lead!
Anything new at the Astropathic Chapel? I could, of course, Google the answer to that, but I don't think there's a point to Googling it when we can always just go back and retry it, so I'd rather learn it when the time is ready for us to learn it. Huh. A lot of these astropathic chairs are still empty. I would have thought when we restocked on people and supplies, that would have been taken care of. Let's go down here and talk to Zachary. Your lordship, to what do I owe the honor of your visit? We would have a extra option if we were iconoclast. We'll speak later, Choirmaster. I have business to attend to. Goodbye, your lordship. Choirmaster follows you with his otherworldly glowing gaze as you leave, then turns back to the cogitator. There were tech priests back here before. This music's cool. Okay, but no, there's nothing else of interest here.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
So let's go back to the bridge and decide what we're going to do next time, because I think this is a good place to stop. Although probably when I click on the bridge, our Voxcaster will immediately talk to us about something. So we'll go through that, because that seems to always happen. Koronus Expanse map. Oh, high factotum instead. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the Von Valencia's protectorate. Of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon their stewards. Developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. Okay, we got 3 more of these mobile extractiums, so we now have 5. And I think those are used to get resources from planets. Opening the map of the Koronus Expanse. The Koronus Expanse is a vast region of space where you will travel between different star systems. In each system, unique events can occur. By steering your flagship toward them, you can explore planets, study anomalies, and interact with other ships. To switch to the map of the entire Koronus Expanse, click the button in the bottom right corner of the screen. Got it. That one. We aren't going to leave this system yet, because there's still plenty more that we can do while here. Because we just came straight to Footfall before. So, Drusus Blessing. Alter Templum Calixtus X17, or a Dead World. We don't know anything about either of these. We just know that one's a dead world. Well, let's look at the map of the Koronus Expanse. Though again, I'm not planning to set sail. Travel between systems is fraught with mortal peril and takes place in another dimension known as the Warp. Only a navigator can plot a course through the Warp to other star systems. Click the circular button at the bottom of the screen to have the ship's navigator chart new routes to the system you have selected. To initiate travel, click the left mouse button on a system and press the Warp Travel button. The route's color is an indication of its danger level. Interesting. Green routes are the absolute safest. Yellow routes signal that unpredictable events can occur during the jump. Orange routes denote a high probability of the ship coming under attack, even in the warp. And red routes are a sure sign that the ship will be assaulted by hostile forces during travel. The ship's navigator can make a route safer by spending points of Navigator's Insight, which can be acquired by discovering and scanning new systems throughout the Koronus Expanse. Is there a limit to how much Navigator's Insight can be stored up? Like, if I go around and I scan all the things, can I just have tons of points of Navigator's Insight? Or is there like a maximum cap of you can store like 3 of these, and so I need to keep using them up before I scan new places? Don't know. So this is our map. We are here in the Furibundus system. There's some question marks. Inevitable Triumph. Novitia. Hotbed of Xeno Heresy. Fun. Dumped cargo. Oh, these are the rumors. I gotcha. I remember the dumped cargo. Cool. Calamity of it on Industrial World. This is where Kiava Gamma is. This is Dargonus. You must be Janus? No. That's where Voltveer went. Where would Janus be? Ah, you're Janus. So the closest one is Janus. Which means that's probably When they're like, oh yeah, you can go wherever you want to any of the 3, and they all are equally valuable to go to. It's like, I'm probably going to go to the nearby one. Pass through these unknown regions first. But yes, we're not going there yet. But sounds like I would click here and then say, ask her to chart a new route. And then it would show up those colored lines. Let's go back. We could also look into voidship management. So we haven't done any of that. We've got actually not that much scrap. Scrap can be found while exploring star systems collected after certain space battles, or purchased from merchants affiliated with various factions. I don't recall any of the merchants offering scrap. I was hoping that we could upgrade our ship in some manner. But not with just 25. Okay. Yeah, we already did the post. So yeah, nothing to do there. So I guess, yeah, next time, I don't know which of the locations we're going to go to. But I think that's the plan, is we will stay in this system and keep investigating some of those other locations. The dead planet, the ship, and the asteroid. Maybe before we leave this system, we'll head back to Footfall and see if it's ready for us to go into the quarantine zone. But I think for now, we're going to call this an end of the stream. It's a good stopping point. So I hope you all had fun and enjoyed watching, and I will see you next week when we continue to delve deeper into Rogue Trader. See you then. Bye.